Welcome to ApeTV on Spotify. I'm your host, Chimp and Chip, the genius ape of BSC. With me today is the Ox, founder of Bull Society, and Feydor, co-founder of Neural Pepe. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Hi, Chip. Thank you for inviting us.
Yeah, no, I'm happy to extend the invite and have this ApeTV special. I haven't been able to record any episodes for our beloved podcast since Ape Lab started. So I'm ready to get back on the horse, right? Get back on the saddle and dive in because NFTs are huge, right? NFTs are blowing up and everybody wants a piece of it. And we've seen it over the weekend. You know, it started with Jimmy Fallon or whoever the guy is. He has a Bored Ape. And then all of a sudden, this cascade of celebrities, everybody's got a Bored Ape. And so this is going to be awesome, right? I'm really stoked to dive into the BSC NFT scene with you guys. So thank you for coming on. So let's start with Feydor. Okay, talk to me about the launch of your NFT project, because this was a while ago, been around for a few months. And so talk to me about what the scene looked like for NFTs at that launch period in BSC.
Well, I'd like to wind even more back because I actually happened to come to the NFT scene back in 2018 because my crypto story started in 2017, and our first project actually was a meme, like a parody North Korean ICO called Space Kim, and it was locally viral. And after that, me and my mate Nick, with whom we co-created Neural Pepe, ended up working for an NFT startup, which was created after the CryptoKitties success. And that startup was trying to merge. Can you hear me? Hey.
Yeah, you're good.
You're good.
Sorry, just my screen blacked out. Yeah. So we ended up working for an NFT startup, which was created after the success of CryptoKitties, and we were trying to merge comic art, NFTs, and different lottery mechanics. But back then, the NFT community was really small, like several thousand people. And back then, already crypto market in general started to decline, and bear market and poor upper management that we had was a bad combination, and that startup got closed in 2019. And unfortunately, I didn't continue working in the NFT sphere, although I stayed in the crypto sphere. And then me and my friend Nick came back to NFTs. Actually, 1 year ago, it was September 2020, and we created another meme project. It was called Don't Drink the Kool-Aid. It was a kind of reference to Don't Buy Meme project, which was really viral back last summer in 2020. And we just made absolutely free token airdrop, and then we started creating Kool-Aid theme NFTs, and throughout that process we learned some new lessons about NFTs, but the project wasn't really successful, so we decided to come up with something new. And in the meantime, my girlfriend was subscribed to a Telegram channel called Neural Shit. It belongs to a guy who is experimenting with different AI-generated stuff, and he specializes in some kind of funny, weird things you can do with AI. And Actually, it also was back in 2020. That guy made a bot, a Telegram bot, which could generate AI generates pictures of Pepe the frog. And my girlfriend sent it to me, and I shared it with Nick, and we had absolutely the same thought, of course, in our minds that it's a perfect content for NFTs, and that's how it was conceived. And then we reached out to the guy who possesses this Neural channel and invited him to do it with us, and he agreed to join, and that's how it all started. Yeah, and when it was decided that we are making this Neural Pepe NFT project, we had a tough choice of the chain which this NFT project should be based on. And we were choosing between Ethereum, Polygon, and BSC. But Ethereum was quite expensive, and we were relatively limited in the funding we had back then. So we decided to opt it out and pick another promising chain. And back in April, of course, it was BSC.
Well, that proved to be quite a smart decision, right?
Yeah, I think it absolutely paid off, and we also considered Polygon, but Polygon smart contracts on Polygon require knowledge of another programming language, so it seemed a bit more complicated. So, and BSC was already started to boom, so we went for BSC, and it was already obvious that the BSC infrastructure would start expanding. And it's actually what happened.
Yeah, well, what a great story. And so, yeah, I guess everybody that's holding a Neural Pepe needs to thank your girlfriend. That's kind of that's the foundational point, right?
Yeah, it is.
That's great. So, Ox, question for you. How did you approach your launch? What was the thought process in going on Binance Smart Chain? You've launched more recently than Neural Pepe has. So explain kind of like what you were thinking and how this concept came to life.
I've been trading what you call shit coins for 7-8 months or so, not very long, but I've been in crypto, like just basic Bitcoin and Ethereum for longer. But I was looking around at NFTs, and like he said, like the gas prices on Ethereum are insane, and I was looking to actually purchase some. I've bought some Born Bad Boys, some Poopies, and all like the first projects that I've seen on BSC. And then I hit up a Discord. I was talking with some developers, and I asked them, I proposed my idea to them, and one of them chose to work with me. And yeah, it was ever since then, it's been going good.
Very nice. Very, very nice. Yeah, that's great. So when you go ahead.
I just wanted to add one thing which just crossed my mind regarding regarding our launch. Maybe it will be useful to give the overview of the NFT market back in April. Back in April this year, we were launching right after the success of the hash masks, which actually predated the boom of PFP projects, because they basically were this trigger which led Bored Ape, Yacht Club, and other projects like that to the market. Of course, the OG project is CryptoPunks, and people were already using CryptoPunks, but hash masks gave the extra push to this idea of using profile pictures, NFTs as profile pictures. And for that reason, we borrowed plenty of mechanics from the hedge masks. We used the same bonding curve with different price tiers. So the earlier you purchased, the cheaper was every NFT, and we also borrowed that renaming concept. So we introduced our AI token and made our Neural Pepe renameable. And actually, renaming Neural Pepe is a lot of fun. And I think it's this bonding curve thing is what I would say differs us from the Oxus project from Binance Bulls, because I think by the middle of this summer, bonding curve was already an outdated concept, and it happened because of Bored Ape Yacht Club, because they stated that they believe this. It's a Ponzi because it motivates early adopters to dump on the heads of late adopters, and they were pushing for flat rate, and that's why everyone is using a flat rate now. So maybe that's the reason why we got really close to the sold out, but it actually didn't happen, and we had to self-mint and Neural Pepe and put them inside Neural Jail.
Neural Jail. That's great. So when you guys were sitting down and you were concepting it, obviously the approach for Neural Pepe was very, very different than what Bull Society did, because Neural Pepe kind of let the AI and neural net take the wheel in terms of creating the artwork. Whereas with Bull Society, the decision was to kind of implement, features with predefined rarity and so forth. So talk to me about the decision-making in assigning these features, like when you're creating it, and whether it's for the randomization element of Neural Pepe or whether it's for the artwork of Bull Society, how are you picking and choosing what is included in what you're going to gamify? And maybe Ox, maybe you could go first here.
All right. Yeah. So basically, I did a bunch of sketches, and then I had a friend actually vector the images and such like that on a tablet. And after everything was created, I sat down and decided a few of the traits which I wanted to be like, let's say 1% of the collection, and gave that to the developer. He put all the numbers in, and the rest of the traits, which most of them we didn't set a rarity for, they were just like basically randomly generated, and whatever is used how many times, it is what it is,
Yeah.
There was just a few things like such as like not having clothes, certain chains, like just little things that were having a rarity, but most of it was honestly all random. Besides like the zombie, we set 35 of them. Besides that, everything was pretty much click a button and it is what it is, and that's even more fun, because you never know what it's going to be used in. Yeah,
absolutely. And so Feydor, how did you set this for the neural net? This is actually kind of interesting because there's different background colors. I mean, it could have one eye, it could have 6 eyes, 7 eyes, it could have a mouth or two. Like, how did you define these parameters for its creation?
Well, I think I need to give a simple explanation of how generative adversarial networks actually generate such images. We used StyleGAN. It was created by NVIDIA, and it's an open source generative network. And the idea was that Doshik, the guy who actually did the generation, parsed several thousand of Pepe images from 4chan, So there were around 8,000 images, and he trained the network on those images. And when you feed images with some similar looking content to the network, it actually tries to generate something which looks like an average thing it can detect on these images. So it tries to imitate what it sees, and as far as images are still quite different, they may have different composition, and there may be different Pepe. Some may be wearing some headwear, may have beards, or may have different colors, and that's why not all Neural Pepe we have are of the same color. So not every Pepe is green, and for the same reason they have differently colored backgrounds. And same thing with eyes. I'm not sure why this mutation happens.
It's one of the better ones.
Yeah. So yeah, what we actually did was we generated a big enough data set and decided that we wanted to make 7,777 NFTs, and then we just sorted it out and removed NPs, that's how we call Neural Pepe in short.
Sure.
Removed NPs which didn't look good enough, and then tried to classify them manually. And that's how we determined skin color, background color, amount of eyes, and we also have a trait called iteration, because when this generation happens, you actually get multiple generations multiple iterations of each generational attempt. So basically, you can imagine that there is a frog which is evolving like over different frames. So you can actually animate this. To add more diversity, we decided to pick different iterations, because in some iterations, Pepe looked really clean, and in some iterations they looked more abstract, so it looked more like some kind of abstract art, and that's why we decided to add this trait. And there is one trait which is especially subjective, and it's called special. And as we say it, it's subjective because it was selected by a silly human, because all other traits were assigned using a custom written script. So we made a script to calculate eyes and to determine colors, and it actually made plenty of mistakes. So we had to run a misprint correction program. Yeah, so half of the of classification was done using script, and then it was checked by a human. And those special traits like dirty NPs, cursed, some have hair, some are called cute, and they were assigned absolutely manually. And actually, again, it was done by my girlfriend.
Very nice. Well, I really do like the variation, and thank you for providing that kind of background knowledge on how they were generated, right? Because some of them are like very distinguishable, right? Like I have one, and I named him Tony Danza because he looks like Tony Danza, right? But then there's other ones, and they're very abstract, and they got an eye up in the corner, and then the mouse on the opposite. And so like it's a really cool array, and it's very, very unique, and it's not something you see quite often in NFT projects. So thanks for that explanation. when it comes to NFTs, obviously there's profit motives. You have your mint price, you have your floor price, and you have all these expectations. Without going too much into the element of utility, which is becoming kind of a bigger thing going forward, as project founders and project co-founders, what are your expectations for these price cycles? Because when we look at tokens or coins, we can look at years and years of data, and we can ascertain patterns. But when it comes to something like NFTs on BSC, it's such a new and relatively young space. We're printing these patterns now. So how do you guys approach these dynamics?
Honestly, I don't know how to really answer that.
Yeah.
Like you said, it is so early, and there's not enough like information that you can look at like you can with a chart. And there's some people that I talk to that they won't even sell an NFT, and then there's other people that will sell an NFT, and if enough of those people that will stop selling and they get bought up, I mean, you're gonna have supply and demand like at some point, So if there is a supply or if there is a demand and limited supply, I mean, just like the Bored Apes, they were dead for like 6 months before all of a sudden it just started popping off,
Yeah.
So, and now you can't get one for under 150,000 or whatever the crazy number is. So I think it's a matter of time before people come over to the Binance Smart Chain, and more projects are popping up every single day, which is causing more people to look into NFTs on this platform. And I don't know, it'll be interesting to see where it goes. That's my perspective on it.
Yeah.
I try not to look at the floor because with Binance Smart Chain, it's kind of difficult because you have Ludex, you have NFT Trade, you have whatever that other
NFT Key,
Finance, NFT Key, now
Pancake, Binance.
Yeah, like I don't understand. Like if there was one marketplace where more of the volume was, it would be easier to kind of tell. You can see, but it's hard to compare all the markets, and then you have the liquid collectibles coming in, which creates another different floor price. I don't know. It's interesting.
It is. Yeah, no, that's a great explanation. And yeah, I mean, there are so many dynamics. There's so many variables. It's a very, very different approach to managing price than it is with like a coin or a token. So yeah, no, that's great. Great answer. How about you, Feydor?
Oh, well, as a person who came to crypto in 2017 and went through the ICO bubble, I see quite a lot of similarities between the current state of NFT market and 2017, 2018 ICO market. So my prediction is that in general, of course, the NFT sphere is here to stay and it will continue developing, but market is getting overheated, and the bear market and NFT winter is inevitable. And also considering the fact that plenty of NFT projects are PFP projects, and they are relatively easy to create. Like if you have enough time and enough dedication and a good enough idea, you can get from idea to launch in the course of 3-4 weeks.
Yep.
It's speaking about like just about a collection of say 10,000 images with a validity system and different traits. And of course, it's not only about the images, and it's also about, in some cases, it's about utility. In some cases, it's about community. In some cases, it's just about having fun. But still, my prediction is that probably the majority of PFP not only PFP, NFT collections, if they have some kind of community-centered thing, they won't survive the NFT winter, and same way as 20 ICOs didn't survive 2018, 2019 bear markets. And it wasn't always because those projects were cash grabs. It was, in some cases, these were good meaning people, but they got burnt out. And at some point, it might become pretty difficult to keep the community together and keep people happy and entertain when prices in general are going down. And for some people, the loss can be huge. But overall, actually, everything I've just said sounds quite pessimistic. But
yeah, you're the guy on the street corner with the "end is near" sign, right?
Yeah, but on the bright side, I've seen this with ICOs, those projects which managed to actually build some products and which managed to survive the previous bear cycle, actually prospered in the bull cycle, in the current bull cycle.
Yeah.
So I will say that we should anticipate the period of building, because that's what you usually do during the bear market, and I'd say everyone should get enough fat to survive the winter.
Perfect. Yeah, no, it's a great comment, because we haven't seen this, right? We haven't seen just a total dramatic collapse of NFT markets yet, right? But we did previously in that 2017, 2018 ICO era. And these like ravenous bear markets, right? They're like forest fires. They rip through everything, but there's natural processes involved, because as it burns down the trees, right, the new seeds are planted, they grow in that really, really fertile soil, they start to sprout. The trees that survive through the fire are hardened, right? They are hardened, and they stand tall, and then they just watch all those new sprouts develop over the next few years. And so like they're hard on communities. You have to be able to manage these expectations. You have to be able to keep people kind of together and aligned, and not just in like price expectations, but just in like demeanor and approach and the way that they communicate with each other, because it gets really bad. It gets really, really bad.
Yeah, I also think that NFT winter will be a bit easier than ICO winter we previously had, because when you have a worthless token, you basically have nothing to do. But when you have at least some set of JPEGs and a community centered around it, you can still have some fun. You can still find some reasons to connect.
Well, it's harder to have weak hands with NFT, because if you go to a centralized exchange, like there's always a bot waiting to catch your bags. Whereas in NFT marketplaces, it's not really like that. Like you can't just go in and just like boop out of it, right? Like maybe now you can with Lyco and stuff. But that's, aside from that. Wow. All right, yeah, great conversation. So I wanted to ask both of you about royalties. So I've seen this be a controversial topic on other chains. I see on other chains that there's kind of de facto 5 to 10% royalties baked into various aftermarket sales. It's not something we see in BSC. And so where are you guys at with that? Is it something you want to see? Is it something that you think is unnecessary? And maybe Ox, maybe you can go first on this one.
that's something we will be doing like next week, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we'll be releasing our marketplace. We've been working on it for like 2-3 ever since before we sold out. I don't know. It's been like 3 or 4 weeks. My days just glide together. But yeah, we've been working on that. It's like testing right now. It'll be a 10% fee. 2% will go back to like the team, and then 5% will go back to holders, and then 2% will go back to minters. No, 3% will go back to minters. Yeah, sorry. And then when we'll be able to add second collections. Then it'll be 2% to the minters collection that is added. So we'll say your collection or whatever, the peeps, we'll add them. Your original minters would receive 2% of the sale, and then our holders would receive, it can be customized, but anywhere from 2 to 5% of the sale. So either way, any collection we add to our marketplace, our holders will be getting a reflection back off of each sale.
Very nice.
So no, it's something that like even Pancake Swap, they do provide. They do. You can set like your certain percentage up to 8%. They charge 2%, so then you can charge 8%, and I'll 4% of that and providing it to our like reward pool, which will go back to the holders as well. So no, it's a big thing on the Binance Smart Chain with like the reward tokens and everything like that. People want rewards. They want an incentive to be in the community. And yeah, with more like NFT projects minting and them offering rewards, I think if you somehow I don't know, people could like feel some sort of way, but
yeah,
you just got to keep pushing and adding utility or something to do. Otherwise, it seems like people just get bored. I don't know.
Yeah, they definitely do. And I like it. Be the change you want to be, for sure, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
I fully agree.
Go on.
I just wanted to say that, I fully agree with your point, and you need some interactive mechanics to keep people entertained, and that's actually what differs BSC NFT community from, say, Ethereum NFT community, because on Ethereum you have insane gas fees, and you can introduce some DeFi mechanics, but it will be quite invisible to use them unless you are super big, like some bot apes who are planning to launch their own token, because it will just cost you a fortune to interact. But the BSC community is way more DeFi oriented, I would say, and there are way more experimental token projects with different redistribution mechanics, which are also not so feasible on Ethereum right now, especially if you are building the project from bottom to top. So I would say royalties are not a bad thing. We didn't have any royalties till recently, because my conviction was that we're already making money selling NFTs, so why do I need to charge more right now? But there is a dilemma of how you want to build the project, because some projects are trying to position themselves as community-driven projects. So in this case, you just release a collection and you provide some, business development, kind of partnerships, social media presence, community activities, but most of content and activities is still coming from just people holding the NFT. Again, Bored Ape Yacht Club is living this way. But Another option is to start living as some kind of I wouldn't say a business, because you raise some initial funds, but at some point these funds may end, and then you need to come up with some concepts to continue the development, and that's when royalties come in pretty handy. Or you also can have, for instance, some projects have royalties to incentivize different community activities, so they are using it to pay salaries to community moderators or issue some kind of grants to those who build something that expands this NFT universe. And in case of BSC, you can also use royalties to integrate them into some DeFi redistribution mechanics, and that's what the Ox and Binance Bulls team is doing with their royalties, and that's actually what we are doing with ours. So right now we have a 5% tax on trades of our AI token. So whenever you sell or buy AI token, 5% gets extracted, and it's partly reflected to BNB, and this BNB goes to reward pool, and part of it is also used for automated liquidity, and small part also goes to the dev fund to keep us motivated building the platform. And same stuff is happening with BNB. We are currently earning from secondary sales. So at the moment we have a 4% royalty on NFT key, and I think 40% of this amount goes directly to the reward pool, and something like 20% I think goes to automated liquidity, and also I think 10% is used for AI buybacks, and this AI goes to AI treasury, and most likely all this AI in our treasury will just get burned.
Yeah, wow. So yeah, you guys make some really, really key points in terms of how these royalties can be used to further benefit the NFT projects, to sustain their administration, their moderation, to keep an engaged and active community. And it is, a bit different, unless the NFT project's retaining a large chunk of the NFTs for themselves. After the mint is out, the ability to raise funds for the project is somewhat restricted, right? So
yep.
Royalties do serve kind of a vital role in allowing these projects to further develop themselves out, right? Because once it's minted, it's not like the founder wants to wash their hands and say, done. You don't want that. Absolutely, you don't want that. And then you don't want the community to be like that too, right? To just mint it and flip it and walk away. So having a way to be capitalized and have funding is really, really nice through royalties. So we're kind of trending a bit long, so I'm going to wrap it up here. Would like to get Feydor's comments first. So you had talked about the NFT winter. We didn't get an opportunity to really dive into like liquid collectibles and tokenizing and farming and all those types of things, which are really exciting, and both of your guys' projects are integrated on Lyco. But that being said, talk to me looking ahead. All right, where's NP, Neural Pepe? Where's NP in 6 months? Or where is it in a year? And what role does it have in the BSC ecosystem?
Well, I would say if you want to become one of these OG BSC NFT collections, because we were quite early and it was our initial goal, but quite recently we renamed into Neural Friends, because actually our plan is that Neural Pepe is just a Genesis collection, and these are the only NFTs which are capable of generating AI tokens, which will be powering our Neural Friends ecosystem. And quite soon, we are, well, maybe in the course of 2-3 months, we are going to have season 2. It will be another AI-generated NFT collection, and we want to experiment with the distribution mechanics. So it won't be the regular sale which most of NFT projects are using now. I think most likely it will be similar to what Everstars are doing when you get to choose first and then you can mint. So users will be able to, well, we haven't selected the main character yet, but we have several options. For instance, neural projects. So let's say we are making neural projects and we'll pre-generate several thousand, maybe dozens of thousands, even of neural project images, and users will be able to just go through images one by one and then bookmark those they like and then mint them. And the supply, of course, will just will still be fixed, but we'll be doing the NFT classification only after the sale is done. So you can mint the NFT, you can see what everyone else has minted, and it may affect your decisions, but you won't know the particular rarity. And recently we became friends with Effect Force project, and they have with Effect, it's called Effect, and they have a service called Effect Force, where they have several thousand of people, several thousands of workers who are ready to accomplish different simple tasks and get paid in their EFX tokens. So what we are going to do is to determine the list of trades and list of options, and then send the whole massive of minted NFTs to the Effect Force and ask random people to classify based on the criteria we provided. So it will be some kind of oracle where unbiased people decide how to classify these images. And for instance, we can ask that each image should be classified by, say, 5 people or 10 people. Yeah, another thing is we are going to expand the lore or the backstory of our Neural Pepe NFTs. So we're going to have a derivative collection, which goes under code name HNP. And so each Neural Pepe owner will be able to mint one HNP per every Neural Pepe they have. And we have a really cool community, and people have already come up with some mythology and some lore, some stories. We have this Cyclops aristocracy, which is suppressing and exploiting the working class of basic two-eyed, green-skinned, unspecial Neural Pepe and stuff like that. So we'll be expanding into this direction as well, because yeah, that's actually what's going to keep us entertained during the NFT winter as soon as it comes. Well, I don't want it to come, but it's real at some point.
Right.
Yeah, and we're expanding into these different DeFi mechanics, and we opened a neural jail where you can swap your Neural Pepe for a random Neural Pepe from neural jail, and by paying a little fee in AI tokens. And this Friday we are launching neural farms where users will be able to stake AI BNB LP tokens and stake Neural Pepper to earn some BNB reflected from NP royalties and AI trading taxes. So there will be some rewards, and also we are planning some dynamic challenges when you will be required to stake Neural Pepper with a certain set of trades in order to get rewards. So for instance, it chooses that you need to stake only dirty Neural Pepper, and every dirty Neural Pepper staked gets share. Yeah, and maybe after, maybe in half a year, we are also thinking of moving towards becoming some kind of platform which is aggregating different AI generated experiments with NFTs. So maybe we'll be inviting some other neural artists, that's how we call them, some other people to make collabs and to get listed on our platform.
Oh, wow.
And it will be powered by AI tokens. But it's long term. These plans may change. But yeah, that's how it is in general.
Well, it sounds like you got a lot in store. And
yeah, quite a lot.
I can say from transacting on a different chain, I bought kind of a high value NFT, and then you can go on to the site. It checks to make sure the NFT is in your wallet, and then you can provide the backstory, right? And so like you can create, like, some of the stories are so creative and inventive, and then if that NFT gets sold, then the secondary buyer can turn around and add on to it, right? And keep that story congruent. And like these are the intangibles of NFT that don't really get seen or acknowledged, but it's what keeps everybody captivated by it. So I love to hear that sort of outline coming ahead for the Neural friends and crew. So thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, absolutely. I just wanted to say one. So think that people are not actually buying JPEGs on the blockchain. They are buying experiences quite a lot.
Great way to
experiences and stories. That's what makes all these NFTs valuable, actually.
Well, I can give you some insights when AI was first announced as a build candidate. All of the ApeSwap admins back then, everybody ran and started to mint the Neural Pepes. And like ApeSwap was so boutique and so small. Like we only had one Telegram, right? It was the only thing that everybody used to communicate. So everybody was there. And so that experience, it resonated so strong because it was, Natty, and it was Kyle, and it was Jim, and it was Obi, and it was myself. And all of us, we all took part in that experience together. And so, that's a great shared memory, and it validates what you're alluding to. So thank you. Ox, how about you, man? 6 to 12 months. What are we looking at for Bull Society?
Honestly, 6 to 12 months. We'll
I know
see.
we got the marketplace coming.
That's a big thing. The marketplace is a big thing. I'm going to keep partnering with other projects. Obviously, the mint price generated some money. So I am looking into some other options that will include the bulls. I'm not going to go on and share any details, obviously, if nothing goes through, but some DeFi stuff that I'm talking to people with that includes NFTs and all that. But I can't go into much detail in that yet, but honestly, we'll just see where NFTs bring us and go from there. I'm not promising no game, or I don't want to be that person. You know what I mean?
Sure.
We just introduced the whole staking thing with Lyco, and if that goes well, then I would like to maybe introduce my own staking platform at some point. But that's all in the future. I'm just letting everything run its course, honestly, and trying to finish my roadmap and just keep building the community, and just keep going.
Amazing. Well, it's been really quick for you guys. I mean, you came on, the mints the mint process happened relatively quickly. And then you're talking about the integration in the various marketplaces, being integrated into Lyco, developing your own marketplace. So clearly you don't rest a whole lot.
No, it's been a crazy month, honestly. Like it's been crazy, but hey, I've gonna take a couple days this next weekend and just get away from the computer screen just for like 2 days and relax, take everything in, and then launch the marketplace and just keep hitting it hard. So.
Amazing. Well, good luck with that. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. If there aren't any other final comments, we will wrap it up here. And thank you very much to the listeners. It was nice to share another show with you guys.
No, and Kyle, I love you. Tell Kyle.
Kyle is awesome. He's everywhere. He's omnipresent.
You guys are gonna make him cry when he hears this. So yeah, no, I'll definitely pass that on. And thanks so much.
No, yeah, you guys have a good night or day. I don't know the time wherever you're at, but you enjoy the day or night.
All right. Thanks, gents.
Yeah, we just the same. Thank you for inviting us.
Yeah, thank you very much.